The Mecha Break Demo is officially out and early numbers are certainly positive. Now, as always, things are not as simple as they seem, but more on that later. You might be asking yourself what Mecha Break is, and I will also answer that question in a moment. Let me first just set the stage. On Steam, this title had a 24-hour peak of 255,220 players. In addition, they had an all-time peak of over 300,000 players and a concurrent player base of 32,132. In fact, the demo launch was so successful that some of the servers shut down. Now, as the title of this story suggests, things are not as simple as you might think. While the early numbers are great, there are a few pressing issues. As GameRant points out, the early numbers for the sharp-looking mech game are impressive, but they don't necessarily translate to instant success for the amazing CSUN game. 4 hours after the game hits its peak, numbers had dropped to around 87,000 and player reviews on the demo Steam page are mostly negative, with only 24% of the more than 2,500 reviewers giving their approval. While players are giving a wide variety of reasons for not having good early impressions of Mecha Break, two big issues have been at the forefront. The first is a tutorial that many players find painfully long, yet still not very informative, with one player noting that the tutorial section of its pair of compulsory AI-like matches took nearly an hour to complete. The other is the game's use of kernel-level anti-cheat software, which has earned a negative reputation among many members of the online gaming community for its ability to access a wide variety of files on a user's device. Now, as per their own description, Mecha Break is a multiplayer third-person shooter offering players 3 unique game modes filled with high-octane ground and aerial combat. You can choose from diverse classes, customize your appearance, and battle hostile mechs across treacherous terrain. Now, I should point out that this title is only available on Xbox platform, and that of course does also include PC. It is also worth pointing out that there is another reason why this game has grabbed the attention of so many gamers. It is no secret that this title highlights attractive women. As we all know, sex sells. In fact, that statement is now true more than ever before. In a time where many gamers feel that there is a push to villainize many titles with attractive leads, gamers have decided to overwhelmingly support these type of games. The more hit pieces gaming journalists writes about the game having pretty women, the more gamers will support the studio. It can be argued that Mecha Break is a benefit of this. However, of course, no amount of pretty girls can be a substitute for having good gameplay. Now, there is also another controversy that is surrounding this game, or at least a perceived one. Mecha Break has a slider that allows you to adjust certain features of a woman. And as you can imagine, this does play into what many would consider fan service, which has become a big no-no for many. Here is one of the many reviews on Steam that is pointing this out. Now, in a non-recommended post, one of the people that is playing this game states, the character creator can pick how big, how perky, and how far apart your boobs are, how big, how perky, and how far apart your butt cheeks are. There is a separate slider for thigh thickness and width. The combat, press L mouse button to shoot, press R mouse button to melee dash. There is a weird pause in between every input. There is absolutely no illusion about what this game wants to be and who the target audience is. If you like boobs, then this is your game. If you like mecha combat, I suggest something else. Now, I do think that that is a completely fair review, and obviously people are allowed not to like a game for that reason. PC Gamer also wrote an article titled "Mecha Break character models aren't a victory because nobody cares," and in the article they write, "I haven't played Mecha Break yet, but people I trust have told me it is very good. Possibly a little overstretched with free game modes, and due to still being in beta, we don't yet know exactly how its monetization will work, but good nonetheless. Other people who don't know me and who have not met me have decided I hate it. This is the way of the modern gaming Discord. You see, while people actually interested in playing Mecha Break are talking about the range of mech units and pricey upgrades, others are only concerned with the character models. These custom characters are pretty, over stylized, and have jiggle physics for days with sliders in all the right places. You can make hot women. This may make a few people angry somewhere, but it is bizarre that this is taken as a win against people like me who just don't care. Now, there is a couple of things that I would like to point out. I do think it's funny that people still don't understand that character design is really important, and yes, obviously a good story, fairly priced game, and also having great gameplay is just as important. However, you can never underestimate the importance of visuals. Whether it is for music, for movies, or for video games, the art form with the pretty people on average will just simply always do better. They also mention in the article that only a few people on the internet is actually angry somewhere, and while I would argue that that can certainly be true, it is also true that most of those group of people that is angry is usually the gaming journalists who are just no longer in touch with what their player base actually want, and also activists who somehow always get jobs at these studios, and sadly we just cannot ignore those two groups of people. However, that is where we are at currently. Mecha Break is enjoying early success, but its long-term sustainability will be determined on how well they are going to price the game and also maintain their servers.